There's a school district that has okayed a Bible curriculum. Okay, that would be an insane headline to start with, but there's another part to it, which is that the curriculum was created by the Hobby Lobby president. I mean, Lewis, where is this country going? It's unbelievable what's happening. According to the Religion News Service, the Museum of the Bible curriculum, created by Hobby Lobby's president Steve Green, is going to be beta tested in Oklahoma's Mustang Public School District beginning in the fall of this year. Green hopes that the program will be placed in hundreds of high schools by 2016 and thousands of high schools by 2017. It's going to be overseen by Jerry Pattengale, head of the Green Scholars Initiative. This is a 4-year elective course where students will study, get ready, the narrative, history, and impact of the Bible to Western civilization. The book is being taught supposedly in an academic purview, not in a religious purview, so it, according to its supporters, it doesn't violate the Establishment Clause of the Constitution as interpreted by the Supreme Court in Abington School District versus Schempp. Nothing we have said here indicates that such study of the Bible, the court decided, when presented objectively as a part of a secular program of education, may not be affected consistently with the First Amendment. So the idea here is simple, Lewis, that as we know, if you teach the history of religion, if you teach that religion exists and do an academic study of religion or of a religion, that is not an establishment of the religion. That's the argument that is being made here. Unfortunately, if we look, this is where it always all falls apart, Lewis. If we look at statements made by by Steve Green when he received the 2013 Templeton Prize for Progress towards research or discoveries about spiritual realities. Quite a prize there that he received. What he said strongly suggests that the material is not going to be presented objectively and it is not going to be part of a secular program. In his speech, Green referred to the Bible as a, quote, reliable historical document that's had a great impact on the world, and that it is his job to point that out and to show that whether it be the government, education, science, art, literature, family, or whatever, the Bible has and should continue to have an impact. He said someday the teaching of the Bible in high school should be mandated. So to believe that he advocates the teaching of the Bible in high schools from a secular perspective would go directly contrary to everything he has said in the past. We have to imagine that in spite of the fact that he has been very clear about the importance of the Bible and its omnipotence, in spite of that, when it comes to teaching it in school, it should be done in a completely secular way. I don't believe it, Lewis. Call me crazy. It seems hard to believe.
Right, and something tells me that if those schools also wanted to teach about the Quran or the Torah in similar ways, he would be opposed to it. And I still think that in the end, this is probably just a business decision. This is probably just about his company making millions and millions more dollars after more people pick up the Bible and say, wow, this is great. I have to go to Hobby Lobby because they're Christians.
First, let's get the obvious out of the way, right? Aside from your personal feelings about the Bible and how it might be useful to you on an emotional or spiritual level, the Bible has been shown to be both historically and scientifically inaccurate from start to finish. So that argument is absolutely ridiculous. But the broader implication here is that the right wing seems to be using Christianity to destroy the public school system that they've always wanted to destroy. I can imagine a situation in a few years where these right-wingers will point to schools, to these very schools that they are destroying by putting in stuff like this and say, see, public education doesn't work. Let's shut it all down and instead have private Christian institutions. And of course, we would be able to point to their activism within the public education system as part of the reason why it's not working.
Right. I guess what they want instead of these public schools would be the Christian equivalent of madrasas all over the place. And it's scary stuff.
And 75% of those who are homeschooled are being evangelically Christian homeschooled, and I think that tells us a lot about the education reform movement on that side in one area in this country.